All right, hey everybody. Paul Sading. Hope this finds you well. So I have a quick video that I hope will help writers and aspiring authors out there, and it's something that I've recently just discovered myself. So I'm like super pumped about it. So here's the deal: you're gonna get a lot of advice from well-intentioned people, probably this guy, telling you how, or trying to suggest or advise on how to reach your writing goals, whatever they may be. One of the things that you'll often hear people say is, who are you writing for? Identify who your reader is. They're not talking about the million people you want buying your book so you can get your theme park at Universal someday and push the boy magician off to the side. They're not talking about your 1,000 true fans. What they're talking about is that one person that you have in your mind that you're writing your books for. Some people, some authors, I have a sci-fi author friend who writes for his wife specifically. If she likes his books, he's happy. A lot of people have notional ideas of who their fan is that they're writing for. It's a housewife in middle America who makes between $30,000 and $50,000 a year, and she wants her cozy mystery that she digs her toes into the sands on her one summer vacation a year that she goes on. That's the reader. That's great for that person. A lot of people struggle. I write for people like my friend. No, wrong. Identify who that person is, not necessarily by name and by face or by demographic. It can be notional, and it doesn't have to be demographically specific, like the example I just gave you. I recently came to this realization after years of thinking I knew who I was writing for. I thought I knew who the person was, the 30 to 50-year-old male who likes action and smash-ups and violence. And I realized something recently during a rewatch of one of my favorite TV shows. I rewatched Sons of Anarchy for the second time. I already have finished this series. I already know how it ends. I know everything that happens along the way. But in the third season, I'm not going to ruin anything for anybody. No spoiler alerts here. But in the third season, right at the finale, there's something that happens to the main character's son. And it crushes this guy. Now, those of you who don't know, Sons of Anarchy is about a motorcycle gang. And it's violence porn. It's a lot of shoot-ups, smash-ups, beat-ups, killing, all that kind of stuff. It's a drama about a motorcycle gang. So this gang of guys, they're all tough guys, every single one of them. But in this finale, when something happens to this main character's son, he crumbles right there in the middle of a group of his biker friends, collapses to the ground screaming for his kid. They're all there. He's crying and screaming. Some of them are crying. They're visibly disturbed for their fellow motorcycle brother who's going through this thing. So you've got this weird juxtaposition of macho men being very, very vulnerable and human in this very highly emotionally intense moment in the scene. And that's important because when I rewatched it just recently, I got the same chills I did the first time. I got the same choke up, fist pump, God, this show is awesome kind of reaction to it. And it unlocked the brain block that I had. I thought I knew who I was writing for all my books, whether it was the horror stuff before, the Zodiac stuff I'm working on, or a new fantasy that I've got, high fantasy, coming up in 2021 that I'm going to start writing. And I had this epiphany. Now I know who I'm writing for. It doesn't matter to me demographically who you are, male, female, non-binary, making $30,000 a year or $300,000 a year, a car mechanic, a teacher, an engineer, a scientist, unemployed. None of that matters. That's not how I'm going to define who I write for. There's one person that I'm writing for, and that one person spans all of those, all the nomenclatures, all the demographics. Their key attribute, they have to be somebody who needs, in their media, movies, books, music, they need that entertainment to take their heart, rip it out of their chest, wrench on it, beat it to a pulp, elbow drop it from the top rope, and then foot stomp it into mush. Because that's what I need. Rewatching that scene again with those macho bikers being very vulnerable humans for a change, it was in the relatable moment, not about what happens in that show, but about the separation of loved ones kind of thing. It was just a very moving moment. And that's what I realized. Doesn't matter if the Zodiac books are snarky urban fantasy where Zeke is a wise-ass character. There are still things I put in there to move your heart. There are things that are said a way they're said. There are things that happen to Zeke because I want to take your heart, wrench on it a little bit, shove it back in your chest cavity because I've got something else coming for you later. So I still need that thing beating until we get to the later part. So I hope this helps those of you who are struggling, or you think like me, you think you know who you were writing for and you realize, wow, maybe all along I've got the wrong idea in my head. So what appeals to you? What is the reason that you read the books you read, watch the movies you watch, listen to the music you listen to? What does it do to you when you're involved in those things? Hopefully this will help you a little bit as it's helped me. Keep being epic.